Now, Group Chief for Strategy and Sustainability at ABSA Punki Modise is attending the 55th WEF gathering and joins us virtually now from Davos, Switzerland. Thank you so much for your time. How have global leaders and executives received Team SA's messaging so far, especially as the agenda around foreign investment hasn't changed?
Yeah, thanks Tumi for having me. I think the agenda for South Africa has been received with much optimism, particularly given also the fact that South Africa will be hosting the G20 at the end of this year. So I'm picking up lots of positive energy and positive vibe around South Africa at the moment.
That's encouraging, Punki, because earlier on we heard from President Cyril Ramaphosa emphasizing especially on that point of South Africa's G20 presidency and how seeking global investment is also going to feed into the broader narrative of the African continent being party and parcel to South Africa seeking further gains. Talk to us about that particular element. Where does the likes of the banking industry fit into the global and continental agenda there?
Yeah, so I think from a banking point of view, for us, the agenda in particularly the agenda of sustainability is no longer a peripheral issue, but it sits squarely in the middle of our strategies as well as our operations. So to a large extent, I think we do recognize the role that we continue to play in the overall economy, which is one of really facilitating and enabling safe economic transition, but also, enabling the people, of the continent to thrive in an environment where there's a lot of uncertainty.
Let's also go back to the practicality of a gathering of this nature of world leaders. The biggest question is always around how ordinary South Africans would then benefit from the country sending a delegation to this annual event, seeking investment that is essentially aimed at feeding into domestic economics. But how does that translate?
So if I go back to maybe our strategy as an organization, ABSA, we've got three critical areas that we are focusing on. Firstly, it's the area of decarbonization, making sure that we finance initiatives that are focused towards the transition and low carbon energy system that we are shifting towards. So if you look at things like renewable energy, for example, so in that space, we largely are looking at, the policy shifts that are taking place across the globe, which enable us to really move capital flows in the right direction. Secondly is you have to look at financial inclusion and financial growth. So for us, especially as a Pan-African organization, it is important to ensure that we see inclusive growth across the entire continent. And also the financial well-being of individuals is of crucial importance. But finally, I think the other aspect is around driving the change also within our operations, making sure that our colleagues can also safely transition through this process. And as I conclude, I think the most important thing is also just to remember that, Africa is well endowed with a young, youth. And within that aspect, it's therefore important that we take care of the youth by ensuring that we enable and we facilitate the promotion of jobs as well as economic well-being of the entire continent.
Thank you so much for your time, and do stay warm out there in Davos. Punki Modise is an executive at ABSA talking to us about developments at that annual gathering.